Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Pele Yoetz. We're on the letter Aleph, and today we're talking about brothers. And it says, how good and pleasant it is when brothers sit together in love, kinship, peace, and fraternity. If the obligation of love and assistance in the time of hardship is greater even among strangers, how much more so between brothers? Each one must help the other. Something that we all forget in this day and age. And you ever notice if there's a tragedy, people come together. But why do we have to wait for a tragedy, right? Why do we have to wait for that? Why can't we just, help today, And it is written in Mishlei 17:17, a brother at a time of distress is born. It is also written in Yeshayahu 58:7, from your flesh you shall not hide. Now, they spoke a little bit about this in the previous chapter, talking about the land of Eretz Israel. And it says, one's brother is one's flesh. How very reprehensible it is in the eyes of God and men when there is controversy between brothers. Shame unto them and disgrace unto them. Scoffing unto them. Woe unto them if they do not help each other at times of trouble, or if one of them is rich and the other is poor and he does not support him with dignity. This is a very big thing, and it grieves Hashem to no end, I'm sure. Think about for your own children, there's times we can't, there's things we cannot relate to Hashem. His love for us is something that's very hard to relate to because it's so great, so grandiose. But there are things we can compare it to. And if if you're an imam, you listen to this, and if your children are fighting amongst each other, you already know how much distress it causes you, how much more it's going to cause the Kodesh Baruch Hu. So this is something we really have to keep in mind. And all the more so when we're helping each other, how much nachas does it bring to Hashem? So we have to really be careful in this day and age. So it says, our sages said in Midrash Rabbah, Avot Rebbe Natan chapter 9, on the verse of Bamidbar 12:12, let her not be like one who is dead. Aharon said to Moshe, my brother, this leprosy is not an affliction of Miriam, our sister, but of Amram, our father. This is what a person should think when his sibling is in trouble. He should imagine that his father and mother stand before him, complain to him, and beseech him to have mercy on their offspring. One who rejects his kin is cruel. Mishlei 11:17. In order that there should be peace between the brothers, they must be accommodating, forgiving, and not so demanding of each other. We hold. I think sometimes we have a tendency to hold people to a higher standard than we hold ourselves. And this is why, Hashem wrote in the Torah that you love your brother because he's like you. He's like you. So, the same, we all have weaknesses. We all have Yetzirah. So we shouldn't be, so quick to enact judgment on our brothers and our sisters. So it says, these are the character traits befitting of all people, and all the more so brothers. A tremendous safeguard for facilitating peace between brothers is that they not live in one house at one table, as the wives can be divisive and create friction between the brothers. So this is, now here we're starting to get into the in-law things. This is very true. At least in Spanish culture, we have this tradition that it's never good for more than one wife in the kitchen. I know that sounds like a little dated and archaic, but the concept, it really applies to everything. Because, every woman has to be able to set up her household. This is a big thing. It's a very deep thing. Every woman has to be able to set up her household. And when there starts to be friction, she complains to her husband and the other one's complaining to her husband. And then, it starts causing bickering between the brothers and it becomes like a bad situation. That's why everybody should just be in their own place. Don't overstay your welcome. If you're staying somewhere, don't stay for so long. And Harav's going to talk about that in a later chapter. So I'm not going to give that away, but you have to be very mindful. Derek Eretz, this is what we're trying to learn, right? So it says, we will write more about this entry in Machloket, see? And they are partners in the store, and they see that the controversy is surfacing between them, and they must immediately terminate the joint venture. So this is what I mean. This causes a very big hardship, because what if they're partners in a store? Now they can no longer be in business together because of all this fight. So it says, likewise, anything which causes dispute between them should be immediately resolved in order to prevent any sin. about this, it says in Tehillim 34:15, seek peace and pursue it. Everyone should be a student of Aharon, who was known for this great this quality to have. He was always seeking peace and always trying to make peace between the people of Klal Yisrael. So it says, there's a fundamental principle in regards to the way of peace. One must pursue controversy and uproot it right away in order to prevent it from increasing and spreading. This is the other thing too. We have a problem. Sometimes something happens, we don't address it right away, and we let it sit there and it festers and it becomes worse. I don't even need any more commentary on that. It is what it is. It says, argument is like a water dam. Once it cracks, it opens all the way. Similarly in Sanhedrin 7a. Furthermore, even when brothers make peace between themselves, it is virtually impossible that they will not remain some kind of gripe and grudge in their hearts. Therefore, it is good for a man to look and appreciate the end that will result from the beginning, to prepare a safe haven with grace and understanding. This is why they're saying too, to be forgiving. Sometimes, there's just that saying, take the high road. It is. This takes practice. For sure, this takes practice. It's not something that, but you have to keep that in mind. And little by little, it does get better. And if you're having problems with that, the Ramban's letter, which I also have a recording of that, and I posted it, I think I posted it to the Tomer Devorah. We're cycling through that, but I'm telling you, it's a great letter. It just, not just because he's from the same town as my father, it's a great letter. If you're suffering with this issue of humility, this issue of anger, this is a great letter. It's called the Ramban's letter. And if you'd like to listen to a copy of that, you can listen to it on my YouTube channel. It's Gimel Dalet 777. That's GIMELDALET 777. It's on the Ramban's letter. Great letter. I promote that letter as much as I can, because anger is a really big problem in this generation, and it certainly was a big problem for me, and I've grown so much from the study of that one letter. So it says, the most important aspect of brotherly love is concern for the other person's soul. How can one bear to see that evil will befall his brother in the world of truth, which will cause shame and disgrace to the soul of his mother and his father, and an awesome anguish? This is very true. I think it is. Like, if you think about it, the pain that you would feel if you saw one of your children attacking, for whatever, causing a downfall of your other child. It is one of the most disgusting things that probably could happen to a parent. And yet we do this to each other all the time. Hashem, please help us. So it says, therefore, if one sees that his brother is going down a bad path, and he's doing something inappropriate or is not cautious in his personal matters, he must have pity on his brother's soul and the souls of his parents, and he should not admonish him openly with love, pleasant words. He should admonish him openly with love, pleasant words, and grace, and sweet elocution, and soft speech. Again, this is also something brought up in the Ramban's letter. This is a good letter to make a study in if you want to start learning how to properly execute what he's saying here, what Rabbi Papo is saying here. So it says, Alav Shalom. So it says to his brother, everybody knows what that is, right? That's the count of the Omer. So hang on tight. We'll be back. I'm going to go count the Omer with my family. And hold on. So we're back. So it says, we're going to continue on. It says, to his brother, let him say, let us be strong and strengthen each other to do the will of our Father in Shemayim, for such is our responsibility, and so it is proper for us. So this is the attitude we should be having with everyone in Klal Yisrael. So it says, similar words such as these will emanate from the heart and will enter into the heart of the other person, right? Because words from the heart go to the heart. So it says one should promote the dialogue until he succeeds in bringing the other party back to the good path. He must act in whatever capacity he's capable of in edifying his brother and children, Torah and mitzvot. He will receive a great reward from Hashem and from his father and mother for all of the good deeds. For all that good that he does with his brother and his father's household. This is the upright path for brothers to take, and they will not be divided. A wise man must listen and enhance instruction. Mishlei 1:5. So, again, anyone who follows me, they know what am I always saying? Please be kind to one another. Please be kind to one another. This is what brought down the Beit HaMikdash, right? That this baseless hatred for no apparent reason. And it's becoming so out of hand already with, we're Klal Yisrael, we're Klal Yisrael. This should not be going on. We shouldn't have, again, I'm going to bring up the Rav who brought up that wonderful, I like you if you have this, and I don't like you because you wear your hat like that. This is just, it's ridiculous. Again, I've said it before, I said it again. If I meet a new Yidden, I don't care from what minhag he or she was brought up with. I really don't care. They're Yidden. That's all I need to know. They're my brother, they're my sister, and that's all I need to know. I really, I don't know. I just, that's not the way Hashem raised me. That's all I have to say. And I hope that He continues to raise me with more and more chesed every day, and more kindness, more and more patience. Again, this is not something that I just woke up with. It's something that He's had to raise me to, and sometimes He's had to do it very harshly. Compassion is not something you learn overnight, and has for shalom, because sometimes you have to learn it through a lot of hardship. And I pray that would no longer have to be the case for me or for anyone else. It is so good. It brings so much nachas when we are helping each other, when being kind to one another, and we're not allowing our family members to fall in a pit. Has for shalom. Please let us all be kind to each other, and I pray that this will be the zechus to bring Mashiach. And that he should be given this year. Who's with me? I'm just ready. I'm ready for him already. Hashem, please send him. But that's it for now, and I hope we'll all be together again soon. B'ezrat Hashem.